Chapter 21. They're finally back. Xuangyun was gone for a full 3 days. Lin Nuannuan was restless every day. Whenever she was free, she would run to the cave's entrance and wait for them to return. Lang Ju had tried to persuade her several times but would fail each time. In the end, he had no choice but to wait with her at the cave's entrance. Lin Nuannuan slowly curled up under the animal hide, her eyes staring blankly at the vast snow in front of her. They'll be back, won't they? Lang Ju's heart ached at the sight of her frozen face. They'll be back for sure, because you're still at home waiting for them. They can't bear to leave you behind. When Lin Nuannuan heard this, she felt a lump in her throat and wanted to cry. It's all my fault. If I hadn't given them wine, Baidi wouldn't have lost control of his emotions and his and Xuangyun's lives wouldn't be at risk. It's all my fault. Lang Ju patted her shoulder and comforted her. Don't blame yourself too much. You didn't do anything wrong. They left the rock mountain knowing it's dangerous because they want to protect you. I'm not worthy of their kindness. Lin Nuannuan finally couldn't help but cover her face and cry. Xuangyun is right. I'm stupid and useless. I can't do anything. They shouldn't be risking their lives for me. It was so cold that when her tears came streaming down, they were quickly frozen. Her face quickly frosted over. Lang Ju hurriedly pulled her into the cave and helped her remove the ice on her face. He said helplessly, Xuangyun is just bad with his words, but his heart is not bad. Don't take those words he said in the past to heart. Lin Nuannuan sobbed softly. He was telling the truth. I don't blame him. What truth? He doesn't mean what he says. He says he hates you, but he really wants to be your mate. Lin Nuannuan was very surprised. That's impossible, right? How could he want to be my mate? Doesn't he hate females? There's actually a reason why Xuangyun hates females. Since I have nothing to do now, I'll tell you the story. Lang Ju stroked his big white beard and said slowly, when Xuangyun was very young, his father was killed by his mate. Lin Nuannuan was stunned. Isn't his father's mate his mother? That's right. Xuangyun's mother was once the best-looking female in the wolf race, and there were a lot of male suitors surrounding her. Xuangyun's father was very good to her. Knowing that she liked to eat fire dragon birds' eggs, he took the risk to find eggs for her. Unfortunately, he was bitten by an adult fire dragon bird. Later, that female despised Xuangyun's father for being too useless and abandoned him mercilessly. Xuangyun's father was so traumatized that he didn't survive it and died. Lin Nuannuan was puzzled. Even if he was abandoned by a female, Xuangyun's father wouldn't have given up hope of surviving because of this, right? Didn't he still have Xuangyun? He had to hold on for his son. Lang Ju looked at her strangely. Don't you know? Every male beast can only have one female mate in his lifetime. If he's abandoned by the female, the male will suffer the backlash of the mate contract. That extreme pain is unimaginable to ordinary people. Lin Nuannuan was not a native of this world and did not know much about this world. She had originally thought that mating was similar to marriage. The two beasts would be together for the rest of their lives. If they didn't want to be together anymore, they would split up. Anyway, divorce was no longer a rarity in modern society, but divorce did not seem to exist in this world. If a male beast was abandoned, it would be no different from dying. The consequences were too high. Lin Nuannuan couldn't help but feel sad. Male beasts are too pitiful. Lang Ju sighed. There's no helping it. There are too few females. He paused and reminded her seriously, if you mate in the future, don't abandon the male beasts. Lin Nuannuan nodded. I definitely won't. Lang Ju continued. Like his father, Xuangyun is a silvery frost-white wolf. You must have seen Xuangyun in his true form, right? Isn't he beautiful? Lin Nuannuan nodded slowly. Yes, he's very beautiful. After Xuangyun's father died, his corpse turned back into a silvery frost-white wolf. The female who abandoned him took a fancy to his fur and wanted someone to peel it off him. It made Xuangyun go crazy with anger. Xuangyun guarded his father's corpse, and if anyone dared approach, he would bite them. This continued until the corpse started stinking. Only then did that female have no choice but to give up on getting her hands on the silvery frost-white wolf's fur. At this point, Lang Zhu couldn't help but let out a long sigh. He was still a child at the time, but he had to watch his father's body rot in front of him bit by bit. His temperament suffered a huge blow, which was why he became especially hateful of females. Shuang Yun's father had tried his best to take care of his female, but he was ultimately abandoned. He could not even live in peace after his death and was almost skinned by the female. The cruelty and ruthlessness of females were branded into Shuang Yun's heart, making him abhor all females. Lin Nuannuan sympathized with Shuang Yun. Anyone who encountered such a thing would go crazy. She told herself silently that she had to be polite to him when she saw him in the future. She had to stop bickering with him. Thinking of this, Lin Nuannuan couldn't help but look out of the cave again. Why weren't Shuang Yun and Bai Di back yet? At that moment, Mu Sheng ran over in a panic. Huan, this is bad. Someone is stealing from your house. What? Lin Nuannuan's expression changed, and she immediately ran back. Lang Zhu said to Mu Sheng, "Go and get all the males in your family, as well as the other young males in the tribe. Get as many as you can, send them to Nuannuan's house to help." She answered, "Okay." Then, she hurried off to call for help. Lang Zhu was about to chase after Lin Nuannuan when he suddenly realized that the rope hanging from the rock wall had moved. His eyes lit up, and he immediately rushed out of the cave to look down. Indeed, he saw two figures slowly climbing up. They were finally back. When Lin Nuannuan reached the house, she was just in time to see a few males moving things out. The furniture she had made had been removed, and the tanned hide was piled on the ground. Furious, she rushed forward and grabbed one of the males. "What are you doing? This is my home. Put it down." The male blushed when he saw that she was a female, and a beautiful one at that. "We came to borrow something from you." "What do you mean? Did you ask for my permission? You're stealing without asking." "You're stealing." "I asked them to borrow something," Li Wei said as she walked over with her big breasts sticking out. "Since your males are gone and you're not going to finish all this alone, you might as well share some with us." When Lin Nuannuan saw that it was her, she immediately frowned and said angrily, "If you want food, go hunting yourself. Don't even think about taking a single piece of meat from my house." Chapter 22. He's getting her. Li Wei said, "The forest is covered in snow. The animals have all gone into hiding and are hibernating. We can't find any prey, so we can only borrow some food from you for the winter. Even if you don't want to, it doesn't matter. In any case, there are no males in your house. You're only a small female. We can take whatever we want. You can't stop us at all." "You..." Lin Nuannuan was so angry that her face turned red and her entire body trembled. "This is robbery. When my male returns, he'll definitely not let you off." Li Wei was triumphant, but only if he comes back alive. It was snowing heavily outside, and snow had covered the entire forest. It was impossible for that white tiger beast to return alive. He must have died out there long ago. It was because of this that Li Wei could come and snatch things without fear. Li Wei's words had undoubtedly stepped on Lin Nuannuan's sore spot. There was nothing she feared more than Bai Di and Shuang Yun not being able to return. Li Wei enjoyed Lin Nuannuan's anxious and helpless expression. She smiled even more happily. She walked up to Lin Nuannuan and pinched her chin hard. "Look, what a delicate little face you have. If Yakia hadn't taken a fancy to you, I would have destroyed your annoying face." "Get lost!" Lin Nuannuan slammed into her with all her might. Caught off guard, Li Wei stumbled back and accidentally stepped on a piece of animal hide that was thrown to the ground. Her feet slipped and she hit the ground hard. She lay sprawled on the ground. The males she'd brought with her saw this and quickly helped her up, asking with concern if she was hurt. Li Wei felt extremely humiliated. She pointed at Lin Nuannuan and gritted her teeth. "Seize her. I'll definitely teach her a lesson." The male beasts looked at each other. Although they should listen to Li Wei, Lin Nuannuan was still a female and a very good-looking, charming one at that. None of them could bring themselves to do it. The hesitation of the male beasts made Li Wei angrier. She was the most beautiful female. All males should listen to her, but now they were refusing to do her bidding for another female. This undoubtedly gave Li Wei a strong sense of crisis. She wished she could kill Lin Nuannuan immediately, but there were many beasts watching her, so she couldn't do anything to Lin Nuannuan. The crime of killing a female was too serious. Even if she was a female, she might not be able to survive the consequences. Li Wei shifted her eyes and suddenly had an idea. She turned and shouted to a male beast who was a short distance away, "Yakia, get your female out of here. She's in the way." Yakia, who had been standing not far away to watch the show, was called. He had no choice but to step forward and slowly walk up to Lin Nuannuan. His smile was honest, but his eyes were glinting. "Poor little female. Your male mate has died in the snow. I can't bear to think of you living alone from now on. Why don't you come with me? I'll take good care of you." As he spoke, he stared at Lin Nuannuan's face. Her delicate fair skin was flushed with anger, and her dark eyes were very bright in the dim cave. Her slender waist, her straight legs, and her soft black hair, all of it. His eyes were full of determination. This beautiful female was going to be his. Lin Nuannuan sensed that there was something wrong with the gaze of the male beast in front of her. She took 2 steps back and distanced herself from him, watching his every move warily. "I don't need your care, and I'm not going with you." Yakiwa's smile faltered. "The food in your house is about to be snatched. If you don't come with me, you'll starve to death." Li Wei chimed in. "I advise you to leave with Yakia quickly, or you'll starve to death." Lin Nuannuan was extremely angry, but she calmed down. She first looked at Yakia, then at Li Wei. She suddenly asked, "The two of you are actually in cahoots, right? One wants to commit robbery, while the other wants to kidnap. What a good plan. But you two are too shameless." The faces of Li Wei and Yakia, whose plans had been seen through, both blanched. Li Wei said fiercely, "Yakia, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and take this female away. I don't want to see her again." Yakia grabbed Lin Nuannuan's wrist. His tone was still gentle, but his strength was extremely strong. "Little female, even if you don't want to leave today, you can only follow me. Otherwise, I can only FCAC you in front of everyone. I'm not leaving. Let go of me." Lin Nuannuan struggled desperately. At that moment, she was terrified. However, she was too weak to fight an adult male beast. She was easily subdued and forced to the ground. Lin Nuannuan shouted in horror, "No! Get lost! Don't touch me!" A few of the male beasts nearby couldn't stand it anymore and tried to dissuade Li Wei, but she glared back at them. Li Wei enjoyed Lin Nuannuan's look of despair as she added fuel to the fire. "Yakia, if you're a male, immediately rape her. As long as she is raped by you, she'll be your mate from now on. It doesn't matter what you do to her after that." Yakia looked at the female, indeed, especially since there were many people watching, which made him even more. He licked the corner of his mouth and reached for her high dress. "Little female, I wanted to take you back and dote on you. Unfortunately, you're too disobedient. I can only teach you a lesson now." Lin Nuannuan held onto her dress tightly and refused to let go. "Even if you rape me, I'll definitely abandon you. I won't let you off even if I die." Being abandoned was a very serious matter for male beasts. Even the fearless Yakia was shocked by her words. Yakia paused, afraid to continue. The backlash from the mate contract was too much for him to bear. Li Wei was very unhappy when she saw this. What a useless piece of trash. She was about to speak when someone kicked her from behind. She fell forward onto the floor, face first. Her nose hit the ground and immediately bled profusely. Li Wei's nose flared with pain as her male mates helped her to her feet. "Who kicked me?" she roared fiercely. "Come forward." The drenched Shuang Yun slowly stepped out. He was covered in snow, his short silver-white hair dripping with water. His narrow dark green eyes seemed to be shooting out daggers. "I kicked you. What do you want to do about it?" Li Wei's eyes widened in disbelief. Why are you back? Didn't you die out there? Don't worry. Even if your entire family dies, I'll still be alive and well. Seeing this, Yakia tried to sneak away, but Shuang Yun grabbed him by the neck. You want to leave? It's not that easy. With that, he slammed his fist into his abdomen. Chapter 23. Mercy. Yaki's combat strength was not as good as Shuang Yun's to begin with. Coupled with his guilty conscience, he was beaten until he could no longer fight back after resisting a few times. Shuang Yun was extremely ruthless. He punched Yakia again and again. Everyone present could hear bones breaking. Yet no one moved to save him. Because this was a contest between males, win or lose, life or death, it was their own business. No one else could interfere. Li Wei was frightened by Shuang Yun's ferocity. After all this time, she already knew that Shuang Yun was a ruthless person who could do anything to a female. After he taught Yakia a lesson, it would definitely be her turn. She wanted to slip away. In the end, she realized that her escape route had already been blocked by the Rock Wolf tribe. She couldn't get away. Li Wei couldn't help but feel terrified. The witch doctor, Lang Zhu, walked in while leaning on his cane. He said slowly, "How dare you bully a female on our rock mountain? It seems you have no respect for the Rock Wolf tribe. In that case, we don't have to be polite to you. Arrest all these offenders." The beasts of the Rock Wolf tribe immediately moved to arrest them. Li Wei cried out in horror. "I'm a female. I'm the daughter of the patriarch of the Black River Wolf tribe. You can't do this to me." The beasts of the Rock Wolf tribe had been specially instructed by the old witch doctor on the way here not to show any mercy to this female. They ignored Li Wei's struggles and resistance. They captured her and her males, putting them in the dungeon. Lin Nuannuan, who had been helped up, was still in shock. Her face was pale, and her body was covered in a cold sweat. Her animal hide dress was also messed up, and her back was covered in dirt. Fortunately, she wasn't hurt. Lang Zhu comforted her. "Don't be afraid. Bai Di and Shuang Yun are back now. No one can bully you anymore." Lin Nuannuan grabbed his wrist and asked in surprise, "Bai Di is back too. Where is he now?" "He's a little hurt. I've put him in my house to rest. I'll take you to see him later." Knowing that Bai Di was safe, Lin Nuannuan could finally put down the weight that had been weighing on her heart. Yakia was beaten to the ground by Shuang Yun. Seeing that he was about to die, Lang Zhu slowly said, "All right. Don't really kill him. After all, he's your cousin. If he dies, your uncle will definitely come and trouble you." Shuang Yun grabbed Yakia's hair and sneered, "My Rock Wolf tribe doesn't fear anyone." Yakia was covered in blood and already delirious. The witch doctor of the Black River Wolf tribe rushed over. When he saw Yakia's miserable state, he hurriedly stepped forward and begged him, "Patriarch Shuang Yun, please show mercy and spare his life." Shuang Yun glanced at him with a cold gaze. "Ma King, you came just in time." Ma King smiled. "I've been feeling a little unwell in the past 2 days. I've been resting behind closed doors. I didn't expect Yakia to do such a thing behind my back. I was very shocked. When I heard the news, I rushed over immediately." In a few words, he had removed himself from the incident of bullying a female. Shuang Yun knew that this witch doctor named Ma King was very scheming and treacherous. He even suspected that Yakia was bold enough to be rough with a female because Ma King had instigated it behind his back. But these were just his speculations. He couldn't do anything to Ma King until he had proof. Ma King was a witch doctor, and witch doctors held a very important position in tribes. It was fine to kill Yakia, but if he killed a witch doctor, it would definitely attract the wrath of the entire Black River Wolf tribe. Of course, Ma King knew this very well, which was why he dared to stop Shuang Yun. However, it was indeed Yakia who was in the wrong this time. If he did not bleed a little, Shuang Yun would definitely not let the matter rest. Ma King took the initiative to show his sincerity. "As long as Patriarch Shuang Yun is willing to spare Yakia's life, we're willing to give you half of the water that we brought this time." Shuang Yun sneered. "That's the kind of water that made Bai Di lose control. I won't. Lin Nuannuan quickly interrupted him. Shuang-yun. He looked at her. What? Lin Nuannuan gathered her courage and walked over. She whispered in his ear, Can you leave this matter to me? And vel be in .com. She leaned close to him. Her warm breath and soft voice made half of Shuang-yun's body go limp. His ears flushed involuntarily, but his tone remained cocky. What a nosy female. Whatever. After receiving his permission, Lin Nuannuan looked at Ma King with her clear dark eyes. She spoke in a soft voice. How much of that magical water of yours do you have? Ma King was curious about this female's sudden interjection. In his impression, most females preferred to indulge in enjoyment. They did not like to manage the trivial matters of the house. This was the first time Ma King had encountered a female who was taking the initiative to interfere in the matters of the tribe. He said with some interest, Since we came a long way, we only brought 2 barrels of water this time. How big is the barrel? Ma King roughly gestured. About this big. Lin Nuannuan followed his description and quickly made some calculations in her mind. According to the volume, there were at least 50 kilograms of wine. No more. No less. She said, Leave both barrels of water behind. Also, tell us what kind of food this water was brewed from and we'll write off your bullying incident. Ma King was a little surprised. He did not give a direct answer but turned his gaze to Shuang-yun. Patriarch Shuang-yun, 2 barrels of water is one thing, but this little female actually wants our formula. She's too greedy. Shuang-yun's expression was cold. It's just a lousy formula. Do you think so highly of yourself? Ma King, after being rebuked, his expression immediately turned ugly. Lin Nuannuan pulled Shuang-yun's finger quietly, indicating that he should not speak. She said to Ma King, I don't need your formula. I just want to know what raw materials you used. Ma King said, What difference does it make? Of course, there's a difference. The recipe includes not only the ingredients but also the method and process of brewing. If you don't tell me the method and process of brewing, I won't be able to make that amazing water even if I know what ingredients you used. After a moment's thought, Ma King decided that she wasn't being unreasonable. His face softened a little. If you don't know how to make that kind of water, why ask about the ingredients? What are you going to do with the information? Lin Nuannuan said slowly, This is an internal matter of our rock wolf tribe. We don't need to explain it to you. You just need to give an answer. Would he agree? Ma King glanced at the dying Yakia. Of course, he could only agree to this. No matter how disappointing he was still the son of the leader of the Black River Wolf tribe. No matter what, he could not let him die here. All right, you have my word. Chapter 24. Beast Soul has awakened. Ma King took Yakia away, and Lin Nuannuan got the list of raw materials she wanted. Shuang-yun sent the 2 male beasts to Ma King's house to take away the 2 large barrels of wine. After settling these matters, Lin Nuannuan was about to get up and look for Baidi when she heard a plop from behind her. Lang Zhu yelled, Shuang-yun! Lin Nuannuan immediately turned around and saw that Shuang-yun had fallen to the ground. She and Lang Zhu hurried over and helped support him up on either side. When Lin Nuannuan touched his body, she was immediately shocked. So cold. Why is his body so cold? It was like ice. It was not the temperature a living person should have. Lang Zhu immediately saw the pattern on Shuang-yun's arm. His expression changed. A star pattern. He immediately called 2 strong male beasts to lift Shuang-yun. Lang Zhu said, Send the tribe leader to my house, now. Lin Nuannuan was frightened by Lang Zhu's intense reaction and she quickly followed behind them. There was only 1 stone bed in the witch doctor's house. That bed was now occupied by the injured Baidi. Lang Zhu didn't have time to get someone to build another stone bed, so he had them throw 2 thick hides on the ground and put Shuang-yun on them. Lang Zhu instructed the 2 male beasts, Guard the door, no matter who comes. Don't let them in. Due to his serious tone, they immediately committed his words to memory and turned to leave the house, closing the door behind them. Shuang-yun's eyes were closed. His brows were furrowed, and his body temperature was dropping. A thin layer of frost had already formed on the surface of his body. Lin Nuannuan was very worried that if this continued, he would freeze to death. She couldn't help herself and asked, "What happened to Xuangyun?" Lang Zhu was anxious. "The star pattern has appeared, and the soul beast in his body has been awakened. This should be a good thing. But why was it awakened at this time?" Lin Nuannuan was puzzled. "Star pattern? Soul beast? What do you mean? Don't you know?" He was surprised at her lack of common sense, but still patiently explained it to her. When a beast evolves, star patterns will appear. Having star patterns is equivalent to awakening a soul beast. The soul beast can greatly increase the battle power of the beast. Lin Nuannuan seemed to understand. "From what you said, star patterns and soul beasts should be good things. Why do you look so nervous? Not every beast can have a star pattern, and not every star pattern can awaken a soul beast. Many beasts fail in the process of evolving, causing them to die." Lin Nuannuan was shocked by his words. Lang Zhu said, "Evolution is a test bestowed by God to beasts. Only by passing the test can one awaken the soul beast in one's body and become a true soul beast powerhouse. If one can't pass the test, one will be a failure and will be eliminated." The strong preyed on the weak and the strong were respected. That was how beasts survived. Lin Nuannuan was very anxious. "Then is there anything we can do to help Xuangyun?" Xuangyun's father was also a soul beast. According to tradition, he should have helped Xuangyun to awaken his beast soul when he reached adulthood. With an adult soul beast around, the soul beast in Xuangyun's body could be appeased to the greatest extent. At the same time, it could also minimize the chances of his evolution failing. Unfortunately, Xuangyun's father died long ago, so Xuangyun never had the chance to awaken the soul beast in his body. I thought that the soul beast in his body might have already sunk to the bottom and died when Xuangyun was faced with his father's death. I didn't expect it to suddenly appear today." The old witch doctor's words made Lin Nuannuan panic. Her eyes were red with anxiety. "In that case, is there nothing we can do but watch Xuangyun suffer? It doesn't matter if he suffers a little. As long as he can evolve successfully, all the suffering will be worth it. But I'm afraid that even if he suffers, he'll still fail in the end. Failure equaled death." Lin Nuannuan could not accept this. Although Xuangyun had a bad personality and a nasty mouth, he had saved her and Bai Dai's lives. He was a very good beast. She didn't want him to die. Lin Nuannuan couldn't help but cry. "Boo-hoo! Xuangyun! You have to hold on. You can't die." Her cries woke Bai Di from his slumber. Bai Di managed to sit up. His face was pale from his injuries. "Why are you crying? What happened to Xuangyun?" Lin Nuannuan immediately threw herself into his arms and hugged him tightly. "Xuangyun is about to die. Boo-hoo! Die!" Bai Di was surprised. He remembered that Xuangyun had not been injured. At most, he was frozen by the wind and snow, but he would not die from that frostbite. Lang Zhu quickly explained, "Xuangyun's star pattern has appeared." The words immediately made sense. He sighed helplessly. "I don't know if he's unlucky or lucky to have a star pattern at a time like this." Bai Di patted Nuannuan's back. "Help me down. I'm going to check on Xuangyun." Lang Zhu said quickly, "You're still injured. You'd better not move. Don't worry. I know my own body. I just want to move around a little. I won't die." At Bai Dai's insistence, Lang Zhu and Lin Nuannuan helped him out of bed. Bai Di leaned closer to examine the star pattern on Xuangyun's arm. The silver-white wolf beast pattern was faintly discernible, and it emitted a terrifying cold aura. Bai Di narrowed his narrow blue eyes. "Silvery frost-white wolf," Lang Zhu said. "Xuangyun is indeed the descendant of the silvery frost-white wolf." Bai Di seemed to understand. "I suppose that's fate." He paused, then said, "I can save him." Hearing this, Lin Nuannuan was shocked. Lang Zhu was skeptical. "Can you really save Xuangyun?" Without further explanation, Baidi unbuttoned the skirt of his hide to reveal the star pattern tattoo on his waist. There was a lifelike tiger totem surrounded by 3 small stars and dark blue patterns that glowed. Lang Ju's eyes were wide with shock. This is a 3-starred soul beast, Baidi said indifferently. Is a 3-starred soul beast enough to appease the silvery frost-white wolf soul beast? Lang Ju immediately knelt down. As long as you can save Shuang Yun, you'll be the most respected guest of our rock wolf tribe. As long as you say the word, regardless of whether it's a mountain of blades or a sea of flames, we'll serve you. Lin Nuannuan also grabbed Baidi's arm and begged him, please save Shuang Yun. Baidi didn't beat around the bush. I can save him. He agreed. But I can do it alone. How? If I want to appease the soul beast in Shuang Yun's body, I have to be his family. I have no relationship with Shuang Yun. If I rashly make a move, I'm afraid it'll stimulate the soul beast in his body. At that time, not only will I not be able to save him, but I'll also harm him. Lang Ju quickly asked, so what do you have in mind? I have an idea, but I need Nuannuan's help. Chapter 25. Becoming partners. Baidi stared at Lin Nuannuan, his blue eyes filled with love. Lin Nuannuan hurriedly said, as long as I can save Shuang Yun, I can do anything. Baidi spoke slowly. I need you to bond with me and Shuang Yun. Huh? After you become mates with me and Shuang Yun, we'll be a family. You, me, and Shuang Yun will all be bound to each other. After that, I'll go and pacify the beast spirit in Shuang Yun's body. This way the chances of success will be greatly increased. Lin Nuannuan was shocked by this suggestion. She had thought of making Baidi her mate, but she had never thought of getting 2 males to be her mates. In her worldview, marriage should be monogamous in order to be fair. Even in this world where females were rare, she had never thought of having many mates. But now, Baidi wanted her to be with 2 male beasts at once. She thought this was crazy, but she couldn't refuse. This was because Shuang Yun was still waiting to be saved, and she couldn't leave him to die. Baidi saw the color drain from her face and felt bitter. He hugged the little female in front of him and said with a bitter smile, I used to think of ways to stop you from being with other male beasts. I was afraid that someone would snatch you away. I always imagined that I could have you all to myself. But now, I have to give you away. I really feel terrible. Lin Nuannuan closed her eyes, her voice trembling as she spoke. I agree. She would agree to anything to save Shuang Yun. Baidi held her tighter. I'm sorry. Lin Nuannuan's emotions were a mess, but her mind was unexpectedly calm. Let's stop wasting time and get on with it. Under normal procedures, the female and male must successfully mate, but with Shuang Yun still unconscious and Baidi injured, it was clearly unrealistic to complete the mating. That left one other option. Baidi and Shuang Yun's fingers were cut and their blood was squeezed out. The witch doctor mixed it into the water and handed it to Lin Nuannuan to drink. Lin Nuannuan also squeezed out some of her blood and mixed it into the water before handing it to Baidi for him and Shuang Yun. With a look of utmost devotion, Baidi carefully picked up the cup and downed every last bit. Shuang Yun was in a coma and could not drink the water, so Lang Ju could only help pry open his mouth and force the water in. In this way, Lin Nuannuan and the 2 male beasts had reached a mating contract. Lin Nuannuan looked at the unconscious Shuang Yun and couldn't help but worry. Shuang Yun hates females so much. If he wakes up and finds out that he has been forced to be my mate, will he be very angry? Baidi gave her a flat look. If he despises you, I'll slaughter him. Lin Nuannuan. She suddenly realized how ferocious the domineering Baidi was. Lang Ju coughed lightly. Don't worry. Shuang Yun actually likes you very much. If he finds out that he has become your mate, he'll definitely be overjoyed. Lin Nuannuan recalled Shuang Yun's usual arrogant appearance, and she immediately had reservations about the old witch doctor's words. Noticing the worried look on Lin Nuannuan's face, Baidi mistook her reaction to the whole mating ritual and explained, this method of making a bond using each other's blood doesn't last long. It's usually valid for 3 months. In 3 months, if you still haven't completed the mating with us, the mate bond between us will expire. you'll be free. Lang Ju also said, take it as though these 3 months are a probation period for them. If you think they're qualified, keep them and let them be your mates. If you're not satisfied, dump them. Hearing their words, the last bit of anxiety in Lin Nuannuan's heart disappeared. 3 months, she'd just take it as dating, although she would be with 2 people. That was much better than mating directly without any feelings. After the mate contract was formed, Lin Nuannuan felt more worried, especially when she saw Xuangyun and Baidi. Her gaze would automatically follow them. She watched Baidi crouch down and place his palm lightly over Xuangyun's arm. Silver-white light seeped through the gaps between his fingers. Lin Nuannuan could not help but widen her eyes and hold her breath. She saw the tiger star pattern on his waist grow rapidly. The dark blue tattoo of a fierce tiger spread across his entire chest. Its sharp fangs and its athletic posture looked as if it would burst out of Baidi in the next second. Its blue eyes seemed fierce and cruel, but they were also filled with endless tenderness and vitality. At the same time, Lin Nuannuan's heart beat faster. That was the mate bond at work. She felt Xuangyun's and Baidi's hearts beating. She could even feel the rhythm of their breathing and the soul beasts hidden in their bodies. Finally, Xuangyun opened his eyes. The frost on his body had completely dissipated, and he looked no different from before. It was just that a wolf head tattoo had appeared on his arm. It was silvery white with a silver star beside it. This was the symbol of a 1-starred soul beast. It meant that Xuangyun had evolved successfully. Lang Ju was so happy that he was about to cry. He rushed up and hugged Xuangyun. He shouted excitedly, after waiting for so many years, a soul beast has finally appeared in our rock wolf tribe. If your father is in heaven, he'll definitely be proud of you. Baidi was injured as well, and it had taken a lot of effort to save Xuangyun. He looked terrible now. Lin Nuannuan quickly supported him. Lie down and rest. Baidi said, help me back. I want to go home. The word home made Lin Nuannuan's heart soften. She smiled at him. Okay. The 2 of them returned home, only to see Mu Shang and her 5 male mates. They had tidied up their messy house. Lin Nuannuan apologized profusely and Mu Shang comforted her before leaving with her 5 mates. Baidi took a small package from the hide pouch he had carried on him. He unwrapped the hide and carefully took out a string of emerald green sourcing leaf fruits. Nuannuan, keep these fruits safe. Take one every day from now on. It'll be good for your health. Lin Nuannuan was so angry that she wanted to throw all of them out, but she couldn't bear to do so. After all, Baidi had risked his life to get them. She reached for them and accepted them. Thank you. Baidi stared into her eyes for a long time. I'm sorry I was so rough with you the other night. Stop it. Lin Nuannuan clenched the sourcing leaf fruits in her hand. I've already forgotten what happened that night. Don't mention it again. Even though she was angry at first, that anger disappeared when she learned that there was a chance he may never return. Either way, all that mattered was that he was alive.